First impressions of Starlink Battle for Atlas for the PlayStation 4. So even on the opening screen the graphics are quite impressive with nice slick animation showing off some of the planetary biomes, which is fantastic, and then that leads straight into a bit of storyline and you meet your character. So this is Mason, the character that I've picked up. I had him actually connected to my ship, connected to my joypad, and then it appears on the screen, which is kind of nice, a toys to life type idea. And yeah, it works quite well. You disconnect a weapon, put a different one on, and it appears directly on screen, which is fantastic. And here's the intro, and I'll shut up for this bit for you guys.
We're here.
Atlas, jewel of the Pleiades.
Look!
Welcome to Atlas. Oh man, I'm gonna get so many hits back on Earth.
No, you're not.
Levi? No one's supposed to know about this.
I'm looking to change that.
Chase, Levi, one of you will need to be outside to help Hunter with the escort.
Okay.
Hey! He said one of us.
Okay, so I'm going to skip some of the intro. Now here's some of the ships here. Now I've only got 2 ships at the moment, and I've gone for the physical edition rather than the digital edition, but it's nice. Each of the characters have their own sort of personality, and all the ships seem to have their own sort of special abilities and perks. And yeah, I'm really quite liking the setup.
You can do this.
So at this stage it's kind of the tutorial, and it's the first battle that I've come across. Now I find the actual game controls fairly responsive, and I quite like the mechanics, and also the sounds and visuals go quite well together. As you pop the shield, the nice little sound effect it makes. As you actually connect with bullets onto the actual ships, it feels quite satisfying. Yeah, it's all good. The actual mechanics here work quite nicely, and the combat is pretty damn sweet. So if I actually turn left, which should happen around now, here we go. So there's the battle over there, and I'm just going to engage with a couple of enemies and take them down. You get to see some of the mechanics in action. As you can see, I can barrel roll in there from left to right, a little bit like in Star Fox or Star Wing on the old Nintendo. Now the whole time I'm doing this, all of my shipmates and wingmen are sort of communicating with us, and also the bad guys, they also have some sort of things that they say during the actual battle. Although it's a single player, it almost feels like you're not alone. It feels like you've got a whole squadron there, which is kind of nice, and they have their own personalities and individuality that they bring into the game. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Anyway, I'll just let this play out.
Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Nice shot, Mason.
Hey, nice work, new kid.
Thanks.
And as you can see, the sort of action is cut with nice little cutscenes that add to the actual story, and the story is quite intriguing.
St. Grand, how's it going down there?
I'm almost there. Tell them to hang on a few minutes longer.
Breach in reactor hull.
Everyone, back to the ship! The reactor's been breached!
On our way. Just one more left.
St. Grand.
Take him with us.
Okay, so most of the action takes place on the actual planet's surfaces. Now the planets themselves are very diverse. They've got a lot of flora and fauna on there. You can scan the actual fauna. There's loads of things to pick up and things to harvest, which you can then use to upgrade your weapons, your ship, your actual character. There's a lot of that in there. I mean, on the surface this looks like a kid's game. I mean, it's a PG-7 for 7-year-olds, but the depth and complexity of this game is well above that, I would say. If you want to, you can really go to town on upgrades and making things more customizable. There's a lot of things where you put down beacons and take control of the actual planet itself. Even choosing the right weapons to take out your enemy, you're going to get different class bonuses based on the elements that your actual weapons have got to give you that tactical boost. I mean, I didn't bother on here. I mean, this had use a flamethrower, I used ice. I still annihilated them, but I do have this on easy mode, which I plan to play through and then maybe try a harder level at a later date. But yeah, it's a fantastically engrossing game, and it just all feels quite nicely polished. But what I would say is elements of this are already starting to feel slightly repetitive. Take out some sort of refiner to then take out something larger to take out something larger, and it's the same things on each of the different planets. Although the planets are very different, the tasks that you do are very similar. So that's a bit of a drawback. And also, when you've got the actual mount onto your joypad and you've got the ship on top, you can't actually plug your mic in. So I had to record all this footage and then do a mic over the top, which is really tedious. It's not great for content creators like myself trying to make a video, because it's all pre-recorded stuff. Anyway, so now I'm going into a little bit more of a cutscene with the other players all talking to me, the NPCs, and I am liking it. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I will be doing a review in full.
St. Grand's still out there.
We can't. Those freaks who took St. Grand also stole our reactor. There's a backup, but until we get more fuel, we're not going anywhere.
What? We can't just stay here. There's gotta be something we can do.
Maybe there is. Check your map.
Okay, so first impressions of Starlink Battle for Atlas. It's quite an engaging game. It's a good looking game. It's got very good visuals. It's got good audio. The NPCs seem to be great. The voice acting is good. Everything seems to be hitting all the right notes at this stage, and I'm quite enjoying it. I will be doing a full review of this, so if you're liking what I'm doing, please subscribe. And yeah, so far it's given a double thumbs up for this. I would score it fairly highly at the moment, but obviously I haven't played it all that much. It is just my first impressions, and first impressions are good. So yeah, stick with the channel, and hopefully I'll be doing a full review soon.